So let's talk about only murders in the building. I'm gonna brush over season 1 real quick and brush over season 2, episode 1 as well, and we'll mainly talk about episode 2 in this video because we got 2 episodes today, and I don't want to like cover the first episode because I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna watch the second one, and that's where you leave off. So it makes sense. I did with Kenobi, and it wasn't that good to do the 2 episodes. So this is just episode 2, and he explained. So let's talk about season 1, where we saw Charles, Oliver, and Mabel pretty much solve a murder and then get blamed for a murder at the end, and that murder is Bunny Folger. And now we have season 2, Folger. I said Folger. I need some coffee. So pretty much we have them now being the number 1 suspects in this as well, and also a new competing podcast, Only Murderers in the Building, is going ahead full steam rolling, trying to get them and cracking the case by saying it was them. Now, we pretty much have a setup for a very, very good season, I think, and as the mystery unfolds, we'll be covering here every week, so stay tuned for that, and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a beat. So pretty much we see the beginning, we see them being interrogated, and they are pretty much like, nah, we didn't do any of this. So Mabel actually entered into her apartment the night of Bunny's murder, where she saw her impaled with a knitting needle that belongs to Mabel. Bunny approached Mabel and whispered 14 as well as Savage. Now, Bunny was the owner of a very valuable painting by a famed artist, Rose Cooper, and the art was then missing from her apartment, and then Charles finds it in his apartment, and that's when Charles realizes that the male that is in the painting is actually his father. Now Oliver is also retrieving some of the theft threats that he had sent to Bunny after she was trying to get him evicted. So also Charles and Oliver now have these deals on the line, but they have to pretty much clear their names before they can get these very prestigious deals that they want also. So now the podcast is back in an effort to try and clear the names, and now Mabel also is in the art world due to Alice Banks making sure to get her to her gallery opening, and that's pretty much episode 1 right there. So as we see episode 2 open up, we realize that Bunny's grandfather was actually the architect to the Arconia, and the painter's owner is actually Bunny's mother, Leonora. And so the painting has also, as I said, been planted in Charles' apartment, but it turns out that was actually just a reproduction. The original canvas was different, and so this asks the question of why would there be a replica and where is the actual painting. So we realize that Mr. Charles' father was actually having multiple affairs with Leonora and Rose throughout the 50s, and eventually they met, and that's when we pretty much get this whole thing be unraveled for us, where we see that Rose went missing and after that was declared dead, and so we still don't really know exactly what happened here, but that's the reason this painting is so valuable now. So in the flashback, we also see that when Charles' dad was leaving Rose's apartment, he was being handcuffed and dragged out by the police, and he had a bloodied, ripped undershirt as well, and pretty much we see him be thrown into jail. Also, by the end of the episode, we realize that Bunny has left Oliver a Amazon yellowhead bird named Mrs. Gamboli, and at the end we hear Mrs. Gamboli says, "I know who did it." We also see Mabel and Alice kiss, so romance is afoot. So where are we going? So I think that we're definitely at the beginning stages here. As we know, they really didn't want to do the podcast, especially because the police told them not to do any of this and stay out of the way since they are still primary suspects. So I think that we're definitely getting into a situation where things are about to get a little heated. I think the first 2 episodes really brought us back to who these characters were and seeing their mental stages and everything after the first season, which was a lot for them. And so I think that we're about to see a lot here, and there's a ton of suspects here. Amy Schumer here is also playing herself, and I still have her on the list as well there because she has this sort of fascination with the show, and that kind of makes me feel like she is a fan of it, and I would think that she would want the show to continue. So how does a show about mysteries and stuff continue? By creating more mysteries. So I feel like she is a primary suspect for this as well. We also have Alice, who is really into the art world and might be wanting to have that painting for some reason as well. And she knew a little bit about Rose as well when they were talking to her. Well, Mabel was talking to her about Rose, so I feel like there is some sort of affection there towards the painting. We also have Leonora, who is Bunny's mother, and she wanted this painting back. Could it be that Bunny didn't want to give the painting back at a point and it caused some disturbance back and forth? We also have some of the other tenants in the building who did want the painting also. So the list of suspects is pretty big right now. There is no pinpointing one exactly, but I really do feel that the newer characters definitely have something up their sleeve, whether that was to kill Bunny or to take the painting or whatever it may be. We'll definitely find out in the upcoming episodes. But I just don't trust these new characters. I really don't. There's something else here going on, and those are just my thoughts on it. Definitely primary suspects I feel are Alice and Amy Schumer, just from what they came across. But I think that the show likes to lead you in these directions where you think you know who's the killer going to be, but by the end of it flips it on you, just as they did in the previous season for us when Jan came out as the true killer, which was a complete shock to a lot of people. So definitely not letting anybody off like guard yet, but I think that if the show is anything like the first season, our killer has been already shown in this 2 episodes that we have already. So we'll definitely find out that. I'll have a theory video coming out for it tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Let me know who you think could actually be the killer of Bunny and why in the comments down below. But I have a theory video on it tomorrow with my 3 primary suspects. And yeah, so I want to get ahead and look a little bit into it more and definitely get that video out pretty soon for you. But this season's pretty good so far, so I'm excited. The comedy's there, the mystery's there, and I think another big thing we need to talk about is what exactly happened with Charles' father that night, and why was he like being escorted by the police all bloody and stuff. I think that's a big mystery we need answers to pretty soon, so hopefully we'll get that. But as always, that is going to do it for me. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe and hit that notification bell. We are on the road to 25,000 subscribers. We are so close to 22,000. So super excited for that. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button. But as always, that is going to do it for me. I'll see all of you next time. We do have a Stranger Things watch party this week. More details on that tomorrow. So stay tuned for that video. But it will be exciting, and I'm excited to do it because I don't think I've done a watch party since like 2020 when we did the On My Block video. So I'm really excited to do that. So stay tuned for that announcement tomorrow and how it'll work out and all of that. But as always, that's going to do it for me. Make sure you check out my other videos if you haven't already. I've done a couple of videos on the Black Phone and the Explained sequel and a video on the Grabber. We do have one more video on the Black Phone coming out this week, more talking about the themes and all of that, so stay tuned for that. But as always, I'll see all of you next time. Don't forget to hit the like button, comment your theories down below, subscribe, notification bell so you know when the videos drop, and I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive, my friends.